Isn't it that by going no contact, it makes it easier for your partner just to forget about you? After all, when they had me around to remind them that I exist, what's going to happen when I'm not even around to remind them that I exist? And it's this kind of thinking from our own first person subjective experience of the world that we miss what's going on outside of what's going on in our internal universe. That is, we're so blinded by the things that we're thinking, okay, because of the way we're feeling, that it's hard to see what's going on in that other person's brain and heart. So if I'm your partner and due to events in the relationship, there's been a slow loss of attraction over time, and I see fit to cut you loose because I'm not necessarily seeing the benefit of the relationship. It's either becoming more of a stress or, I'm not, into it from a romantic or sexual perspective. I don't necessarily feel like I'm losing anything, if I cut you loose. But when someone else is making that decision and they're cutting you loose, you're losing whatever it is that you were in the relationship for in the beginning, right? So you're with that partner because you're interested, because you're, into them, because, you get sex and companionship from them, whatever the reasons are. And you're losing that right away. But that other person's already sized it up, and in their mind, they made a judgment that's an acceptable loss so they can move on and do something else. And they're not feeling what you're feeling in that moment. But that's the beauty of going no contact, because what happens is that person has to face the consequence of their choice later on. If they meet somebody new, they get excited about them, that person lets them down, right? They choose to get away from you, they move out, whatever, and they have lonely nights. And even more than that, they start to have fond memories of the past, because we don't really remember the bad stuff from the past all that much. And they're going to start to remember all the good stuff and, want to come back. And that's just human. So don't project your fear of being forgotten about onto your ex, because, they're going through an entirely different experience than what you're going through. I can promise you, if they forgot about somebody that they spent a chunk of their life with, and after not hearing from them from a long period of time, they have no interest of ever hearing from them again, or they're just content to forget about you, I promise you, you do not want to be with that person. Exes almost always come back in some way, shape, or form. But it's on you to do the right things from there to re-attract them into the relationship, just like you did in the beginning when you first got together. Now, if you click into my profile, there's a link in there, and you can either book a call with me, tell me about your situation, ask me a question, or you can download my guide to how to handle your ex after they come back, after a period of no contact, because that is critical, that phase. But don't worry, they're not going to forget about you. Stay strong and no contact.